Hey everyone, my name is Kumo and this is my reaction to the 4th episode of Kokkoku. So, in the last episode, we had Juri awaken to a new ability, the ability to expel specters, jellyfish, the proper term, from people's bodies, which takes them out of stasis and returns them to being a stalled one. And also involves quite a bit of pain if we're to believe them, and the blood coming out of them is a good indication of that. We also had Grandpa actually meet up again with Juri, near the end, so that's good. And I think they still have the stones, which is also very good, because that's kind of the main objective of the bad guys. Speaking of the bad guys, they seem to be doing some more experimentation with the handlers, and they confirm that yes, it is getting smaller every time it kills someone for violating the rules. It dissipates a little bit. Apparently, it tastes like protein, and it gets smaller and smaller and has no way to replenish itself, and so it has an uptime limit. So, I don't know if they're going to try to exhaust it until it's gone completely so they can do whatever they want. That was the first thing that popped in my head. I don't know if there's only one of them or if there's more than one of them, because I thought there were more than one of them, but they're kind of acting like there was only one, so I don't know. This show was a bit deep for me anyway, but I do my best. And we actually had some more people go after Grandpa and Juri. And the one guy who was pretending to be a stalled one to get closer than them was about to murder Juri. I'm pretty sure he's not actually going to kill her there, but that's where I cliffhanger us off on, so let's get into it and see how that turns out. Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, also Makoto also got a jellyfish, so he's able to move around as well. And they were talking to the father, and apparently they're trying to make some kind of deal between the two households. We'll see how that goes as well. Yeah, you really could just tell that he was not a stalled one from that shot. Come on, Juri. Oh, she actually did expel his jellyfish. It just looks so cool, like, I made a Byakugan, joke in the last episode, but that does look a lot like that style of fighting. Like, whatever it was called. Open palm. Yeah, I believe that was also connected to Shoko. But I would love to learn a bit more about that, because we have gotten some flashes about that here and there. And after she did start expelling people's jellyfish, she never actually, verbally acknowledged what happened, not even to herself. And she didn't tell Grandpa anything. I wasn't even sure she remembered what happened, but I guess that kind of confirms that she does. And hopefully we do get some more information on that and it's not just a tease. And I do want Shoko and her to actually meet, and because there's obviously something between them. They're both very prominent in the ending. Yeah, but if I really pay attention to the lyrics in this opening, I can probably figure out a lot about the show. But I would never do that because that's like deliberately spoiling yourself, even if that is the case. Which is why it's usually better not to pay too much attention to the opening, just kind of passively enjoy it. And it is a very good opening. And that's probably what that slap thing and near the end of it is about too, I wish there's a better name for it, but the expelling the jellyfish thing. I never get tired of those shots of the stopped insects and stuff. And here we go. This is it. Man, completely still fireflies look very cool, very interesting. So they went to stasis so she could be with her almost dead pet a little bit longer. I mean, it's not really the same, but... I hope he doesn't leave his granddaughter in stasis. Oh man, that's actually getting really sad really quickly. That last bye-bye kind of hit me pretty hard. Something's... Oh! That is not good. She just... Ouch! That really does look painful. But yeah, if she expelled him from stasis, that would not have been good. If she couldn't know, she didn't know how to leave it. How bad? Well, clearly you didn't, and... Is that Shoko? Okay, yeah, she's fine. She's not... But that could have been much worse. uh, you know, she's the most responsible member of that family. I mean, I wouldn't. Well, the stone's also what's allowing you to have an attempt at saving him. Yeah, not the best time or place for an argument, like, at all. People really should know better. Hold up, jury. I'm not as young as I used to be, you know. Yeah, that right there is probably the most valuable usage of that spell for escaping, just like go down to a place where they can't really jump. Of course, they could just do that, I guess. But going back up should be more helpful. I wouldn't call her busty. Oh, wow. I think you guys might want to run. She doesn't seem to be in a good mood. She's had a long day. A long second. Whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I was about to say, that's not gonna... I guess that wasn't the point. Man, she's gonna wreck some fools. Wow. Yeah. Uh, that's not really gonna help your case. Well, that takes... I know, right? Well, that takes care of that. That slight blush. I guess she's done running away. Yeah, well, you'll see how that goes. And they are so rude to Jury. We're your worst nightmare. And this really turned around. Yeah, you think there's a fast food place open? Yeah, those were the nice gentlemen from earlier. But wasn't there, a woman standing in that place? I definitely remember that for various reasons. You don't need money, it's, you can't use it anyway. Yeah. Yeah, longer than that. You just call them a cult, it's much faster. Yeah, initially I was wondering why they chose that family, but them having the stone, explains that. No, the cult was just a means to an end for her, but the question is, what's the end? Yeah, Shoko. There might have been, but I'm an old man, I don't remember. Because it's probably going to be very important. Yeah, that was the initial plan. But of course, squaring out the jellyfish works too. Well, they're not... Yeah, because currently Tsubasa and Makoto are not stalled anymore. Which complicates things a bit. Of course, they don't know that. I wonder how light would work in stop time. Would it like cast a shadow if you stuck her hand in front of the flashlight? Yeah, it's dirty. I mean, they're not, they're kind of similar. It comes out and flies to somebody else that's plot relevant. Yes, we got Tsubasa and Makoto both. But they don't know about the guy that was killed and had his jellyfish enter Makoto, and that sounds so bad if you... Bloodstains are the worst. Well, she's shoplifting, really. Now she is busty. You don't need to be a mind reader to know what he's thinking. Man, there's almost nobody in the world that can move, and he still gets walked in on. uh, Not that she's gonna, thank you right now. Yeah, they're not doing so hot. I mean, they hardly ever use the thing. We didn't even know it existed. I know, right? It's not a 4K monitor. Well, him or his grandpa. Not a sorcerer. He's just a guy. That's a stupid way to look at it. In a good way or a bad way. And they're still there. Well, people seem to be having no trouble finding them, so... Which they wouldn't. That doesn't even look like water. Looks more like big giant thing of gel. But yeah, very cool effect though. That looks so painful. Where do you plan on finding a doctor exactly? Yeah. A good way to think of it, yeah. So is he really implying he was going to leave stasis to find a doctor and then come back? Because it doesn't work that way. Apparently he's just an idiot. Yeah, it's not as bad as it could be. Assuming you don't break one of the unknown rules. Good luck with that. Nobody did, well, aside from the grandpa. And possibly Shoko. Yeah, what do you want from me, man? That was a kick. uh, Shoko's like, why do I put up with these people? Okay, so he apparently does want to die. Always the head. And that was faster than usual. So, you happy now? And man, he's really starting to break down. Like, completely, I guess. It was a handler. I must dissect it for science. What is she trying to do? Look for a core or something? Oh, the person that originally was. But they've seen better days. Ugh. I think it's a female. Yeah. I mean, it might be a good thing for it. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure there are more than one of them. Ouch. You had one job. I guess that's one way to look at it. Maybe not a bunch, but I'm sure more than one. And considering how many people are in stasis now, could be more soon. And that's why she was checking that one to see if that was a person. At least we got a peek into her motivations. And I would like to get a peek into some of her other things, if I'm being honest. But yeah. You know what I mean by the two of them being very prominent in the ending thing. So I'm sure we'll get an actual meeting between them. Because we already learned about their connection to each other. Well, the basics of their connection to each other. I'm sure there's more to learn on that front. I mean, it's obviously probably because of my Yuri goggles, but it also seems like a bit of a Yuri-ish thing between them. Just that one shot of them both leaning against the railing, looking at each other. If you had cod coffee and stasis, would it just, like, stay hot forever? No matter how much you blow on it? Or how much you stir it? So that was the 4th episode of Kokkoku. Another good episode. This episode, man, we got a bit more about, on the backstory, of her, Juri's first experience with being in stasis. She was a child, her dog, I guess, was on the verge of death, and the grandpa brought them to stasis so she could have more time with him before he died. Still seems like an odd solution for that, just because it's, you know, the dog might technically be alive, but it can't interact with Juri at all. I mean, I guess you could pet it, but yeah, that's about it. And apparently Juri's always had these powers. Like, back then, she almost pushed the jellyfish out of Grandpa. If it wasn't for Grandpa being, you know, skilled as himself, he would have been kicked out of stasis. Which would have been very bad, because I don't think Juri would have been able to leave stasis herself. So that would have been a bit of a problem. And clearly, so, at some point when the Grandpa was, before he was able to catch up with her, she had met Shoko and they had their interaction. And she even asked about that little girl, you know, later, you know, in modern current day. But it didn't seem like the grandpa really, you know, remembered her much, so I hope we get a bit more details on exactly that. We did learn a little bit more about Shoko and her motivations, because apparently a family member of hers got turned into a Pandler, a herald, whatever you want to call it. And I guess she's looking for that person. I mean, they didn't directly say that, but I think it's pretty heavily implied with the way she was digging out that one Pandler to see if that was them. And yeah, they also figured out that Tsubasa is in stasis now, no longer a stalled one. They don't know about Makoto though, because at least I don't think they know about Makoto, because I think didn't that guy die in a different spot, and that's the jellyfish that went into Makoto. So I don't know. At the very least, they didn't say anything about Makoto. But I'm sure at the very least they know Makoto's with Tsubasa. That's a safe assumption. So they shouldn't be worrying too much about that, because, you know, Tsubasa's got that. And Makoto really is a good kid, you know, just stacking up the cans, trying to be helpful. And Juri, we got to see her really kicking some ass this episode. Like, man, she did a bit of a 180 and stopped being on the defensive and running away and went full offensive. Like, you know what, I have superpowers, you don't. This is a world where guns don't really work, so let's see how this confrontation between us goes. And that's how it went. Push, push, slam, jellyfishes flying all over. And yeah, I don't know how many members the enemy has, because the Genuine Love Society, whatever they're called, clearly hired a lot of, you know, muscle for this. It seems like they hired it quite a bit, honestly. A lot of them have been taken out, yet it seems they still have a decent amount. You know, all over the place. You got some of them at the Yukawa's household, some of them busy interrogating the father, and the poor father, man. He didn't even know anything about this until recently, and he keeps getting interrogated and left behind, and just, yeah. But the Yukawa family in general is doing pretty badly. Now, seeing still things are so cool, like the still jellyfish, fireflies in the flashback was really cool. In any case, I'm gonna go watch more anime now, so see ya. Thank you for watching, and thank you Cnouki, as well as everyone else, for doing what you can to support the channel. It means a lot to me, and I hope we can continue to grow the channel together. If you want to do more to support the channel, then you can become a patron on my Patreon, and get cool rewards like early access to certain videos. Have a good one.